Hello there.
Tech Cipher.
Back in the day, an unmanned aircraft used to mean one of the Decepticons from Transformers, like Thundercracker or Starscream.
Nobody summons Megatron!
How do you feel, mighty Megatron?
However, in recent years, Airbus has been developing an aircraft that can fly completely unmanned for extended periods of time. This skinny solar-powered craft flies at extremely high altitudes to not only avoid commercial aircraft, could you imagine, but also to escape any dangerous weather conditions that might drastically shorten its voyage. Recently, the Airbus Zephyr S broke its own previous record for the longest flight of an unmanned aircraft, spending over 26 days among the clouds. That would get so lonely. Like, great view, but I'd just be so tired. Aircraft like this can be extremely useful in providing imagery similar to satellites. But unlike satellites, these planes can remain in specific locations providing continuous footage of a localized area, so to aid in disaster relief, for example. They can also land for regular system or hardware updates, which, as you can guess, satellites cannot do. This flight record was achieved by the latest model of this aircraft, which was originally designed and built in the UK. But we want to know what you guys think. Is this an impressive leap forward in autonomous flight, or are we just making it easier for the machines to watch us? Let us know in the comments below.
Can they see what's on top of my garage roof? Because I think I've got a frisbee stuck up there.
Tech Cipher.
Speaking of unmanned aircraft, let's talk about new drones that will be able to transport heavier packages. Wing, which is operated by Google's parent company, Alphabet, recently unveiled a new range of prototype drone-plane hybrids that can deliver a variety of payloads. Their aim is to match the appropriate packages with a similar-sized delivery vehicle, so small drones for small packages and larger drones for the chunky boys. They say that the smallest of their drones can deliver tiny things like prescription medicines at 270 grams.
Teeny weeny packages.
Whereas their flagship craft could carry packages weighing over a kilogram. Wing did not disclose a timeline on when it would actually introduce these new drones, emphasizing that all of its aircraft are still in the prototype phase. However, Amazon recently announced that their Prime Air delivery drones will begin testing in Texas in the near future, stating that hundreds of local customers have already reached out to join the rollout. So you could say, begun the drone war has?
Tech Cipher.
While we're on the subject of futuristic transportation, it looks like Swedish startup Candela has designed its very own hovering speeder, one that can travel 3 feet above the surface, rapidly transporting busy commuters. However, unlike Luke's speeder on Tatooine, this Candela P-12 Ferry sprints across lakes instead of sand dunes. And yes, technically, while it's not hovering, it does cut through the water at high speeds, leaving virtually no wake, noise, or polluting emissions. Currently, this high-tech hydrofoil is just fantasy, but Candela is aiming to have these electric flying ferries be part of their Stockholm public transportation fleet very soon. The city is working towards emission-free ferries by 2025, as its current diesel-powered fleet of 60 ferries emits 40,000 tons of carbon dioxide annually. Here's hoping it won't be long before we see these electric vessels flying around the lakes of Sweden and beyond. We could use one of these here.
Absolutely.
Just get
I
over
have
Willow Lake.
the need for speed.
And the electric vehicle good news keeps on coming, as General Motors announced that they plan to build 2,000 with a T electric vehicle chargers across the United States. This coast-to-coast network will be installed at Pilot and Flying J truck stops, never been, sure they're great, and will be managed by EV charging company EVgo. This is a great step forwards in eco-friendly transportation, as this leading automaker will be spending its own money to help bolster the US EV charging infrastructure. This kind of support for plug-in vehicles is vital to continue their use and further development. These new chargers will be in addition to the 3,250 chargers that GM is currently installing with EVgo, which the automaker has stated will be completed by the end of 2025. There it is again. 2025 is going to be a green year. I like this.
It's going to be the big year, 2025.
The car maker has said it would spend $750 million in total on EV charging infrastructure. This is great news. So who knows? With all this EV tech progress, maybe we're not that far from driving the spinner from Blade Runner.
Tech Cipher.
Have you ever felt so nerdily nostalgic that you wished you could run a 2-decade-old operating system on brand new hardware?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Of course you haven't. No one has. But that didn't stop the guys over at Digital Foundry from doing just that. The Xbox Series X is an impressive piece of hardware for playing the latest in high-end gaming, but what if it could run Windows 98? I We've all asked this question, surely.
Absolutely. This is what I think about in my dreams.
I dream of Windows 98. It was a great OS, to be fair. Well, Digital Foundry found a way using a combination of RetroArch, a plugin called DOSBox Pure, and a legit copy of the classic operating system. Where would you find that? Like, who's got an unopened legit copy that was never used? That's got to be in a
Get your
museum.
Windows 98.
That belongs in a museum.
This allowed them to not only play such classic games as Roller Coaster Tycoon, Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun, and Turok. These were like my games growing up.
But can
These
it
were
actually play
classics.
Crisis?
Crisis? But they were also able to run traditional apps like Microsoft Paint and Word 97. Yeah, because they were perfect back then, right? We haven't innovated on those since.
Who's not wanted to doodle on their Xbox controller?
That sounds really bad. Beep, beep. Regardless of whether this is even remotely useful for the average gamer,
It's not.
no, you've got to give Digital Foundry credit for achieving the practically impossible. Like, that's not what the Xbox was for at all.
Tech Cipher.
Let's talk about the most stellar news in tech recently, and that's the release of the first full-color images from the James Webb Telescope. I was so excited for this. This was literally like when tickets come on sale for your favorite rock star. This was me like watching. Launched back in December last year, the JWST is the largest and most advanced space telescope ever built and has spent the past 6 months in its commissioning phase, which included deployment, cooling down, aligning mirrors, and prepping instruments. But now we finally have its first set of images, and they are absolutely astonishing. Just take a look at these. First up, we have the Deep Field image. This is a sort of HD remaster of an image Hubble took back in 1995, and it's incredible. Look at this thing. Almost every point of light in this image is an entire galaxy, with some of them in the middle appearing stretched due to gravitational lensing. The light that has been traveling to us from these galaxies is from when the universe was less than 1 billion years old. And yet, it's an area of the sky small enough to be covered by a grain of sand held at arm's length. Like, it's nothing. And it's got so much happening. It's amazing. Next, we have the Carina Nebula. This stellar nursery is perhaps the most iconic nebula ever photographed, located roughly 7,600 light years away.
Damn, that's far.
You're not getting there in your average spaceship. The new image provides much more detail, including new stars and structures never seen before. Plus, it makes a great desktop background. I can speak for that. Like, mine needed updating. And we've got to talk about the 2 images taken of the Southern Ring Nebula at different infrared frequencies. This captivating turquoise halo spans half a light year in diameter and has a binary star system at its core. This is real-life Tatooine. Just imagine the sunsets. All these images came from just 5 days of observation, and there's still another 20 years of exploration to go. So what do you guys think? What are you most excited to see come from the JWST? Aliens, you know, other
Alien
planets
memes.
we can live on? Yeah,
Let's
that's
get
what I
those
want to
alien
see.
memes.
Come on, where
Come
are
on.
all the aliens? Tell us in the comments down below. We genuinely want to see what you've got.
Tech Cipher.
This episode is sponsored by HoloLens 2, the world's first fully untethered holographic computer. With its cutting-edge artificial intelligence capabilities, it has immense potential for you and your customers. Microsoft's wearable device is powered by Microsoft's Azure cloud platform and uses artificial intelligence to provide a personalized experience for each user, with customer opportunities in a variety of industries, such as architecture, engineering, and healthcare. The options and benefits are endless. To find out more, click the link in our description.
Well, that's all we have time for today, guys, but thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. And maybe share the channel with someone you think might enjoy it. It really helps us grow. And until next time, bye!